Hello friends, and welcome back for our second project of the day. If you missed the first one, you can go back and watch the replay, and if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go back and check for project 1, which was our Impressions of Bloom card with the new in colors. So for our second project today, we are going to use one of my favorite new suite collections in our annual catalog. It is the Turtley Cute Suite collection. And before we get to our project, I want to show you all of the products that you can get in this suite collection. Now we had a turtle bundle with a punch a few years back, and that was adorable. And I think if you still have that one, some of these products are going to pair perfectly with it. But if you don't have that one, or you are a sucker for cute animal stamp sets like I am, this one should go to the top of your wish list, because it is really cute. So the suite includes a bundle that has a stamp set and dies. Now the images here are at 80%, so the stamps are actually a little bit bigger. So you've got several turtle images, and then the fun thing about this bundle is there are so many little images and dies to play with and build scenes with. Let me show you the dies here in a second. So you're going to get some solid dies that will cut out the images in the stamp set. And like this one cuts out the balloon, but you can also turn it into a banjo. There's a little watering can, a chef's hat, an apron, a little straw hat. There are lots of cute things in this set, and I think you're going to love it. Now also in this suite of products, we have a fun embossing folder. This is called the Turtle Textures Embossing Folder. And like I said, if you have that turtle bundle from a few years ago, this would be an awesome companion to that, because I don't think we had anything like that when that bundle was around. We also have these really fun embellishments. These are called the Shades of Green hexagons. And so you have all different shades of green. Shaded spruce, I think there's granny apple green. I'm not sure what that one is. I don't think it says on here. But, you know, they'll go with all of our different shades of green, especially the ones in the designer series paper in this set. And then there is also a ribbon. This is our bordered ribbon. Let's see if it says color. Shaded spruce and soft seafoam. Usually I am not a fan of the ribbon that has one color on one side and one on the other, but actually this ribbon is really soft and nice, and I actually don't mind how it ties with the two colors together. I don't know. I kind of like it. So I did get this one because I think the greens are pretty, and it's just a really nice soft ribbon. And then the star of the show, if it wasn't the bundle, is definitely the designer series paper. This paper is so fun. You can see I have used some of it already. So on one side of the paper, you've got all these turtles. Now the dies will cut out the turtles that don't have anything on their head, or, you know, they're not holding anything. The ones that are shaped like this. I believe the dies also will cut out the balloons. I think there's an ice cream cone die. So you can use the dies to cut out some of those, or if you like to fussy cut, this paper is definitely for you. Then we've got music notes. I am a music person, so any music note paper I love. We've got a stripe pattern in all of those greens. This one, we've got our turtles outside sightseeing. We've got a beekeeper there, super cute. There's a watering can. So the dies will not cut these out, but again, you can fussy cut if you want. Then we've got a fun stripe pattern. I think some of the patterns on the other side of this paper are really great for birthday cards. I've used them already for some of those because there's just lots of fun colors in there. Then this one, our turtles going to the beach. So how fun is that with beach balls and sandcastles? He's grilling out. He's in his towel. He's snorkeling. So cute. So lots of fun ones you can cut out again. Let's see. Let's do this. The polka dots. I think that's another great one for birthday cards. And then this is a fun piece right here. So you can cut this piece apart and you can have these to use on your card fronts, or these are great for scrapbooking too. So you've got a couple of scenes. These I think are 4x6. So you could use them with our Memories and More card bases, or you could trim them down a little bit for a regular card front. These are 3x4, and then you've got a couple strips at the bottom here that are 1x4. So lots of fun things you can do with that sheet. Okay, here our turtle is outdoors again with his bicycle, with his ice cream cone, his picnic basket. Lots of fun ones on that sheet. Then you've just got a turtle shell pattern on the back. Here is our musical page. How fun is this? He's playing the drums and the banjo and the accordion and the trumpet. My youngest daughter is learning the cornet, which is like a small trumpet. I might have to make her a card with that one. That would be super fun. And then we've got another turtle shell pattern on the back. So that paper is a must-have. All right, so our card for today is pretty simple. Like I said in my first video, my goal with our cards today is to get the new products in your hands. And I'm going to try and stick mostly to stamping just the sentiments. So you can substitute those out for any sentiments that you have. But you'll get to see that embossing folder. You'll get to try out the paper and kind of see how the new products look in person. So you can get the card kit for the 4 different projects we're doing today by placing an order with me now through Tuesday. And it just has to be more than $50, and I will send you a card kit for the 4 cards. So we did one earlier. This is the second one, and then there will be 2 more videos later today. And if your order is over $75, I have some brand new embellishments in my stash. They're not brand new products, but they haven't been used is what I mean by brand new. And I'll include one of those packs of embellishments in your card kit if you spend more than $75. So I just had a post go up with the ordering link. There is no more host codes, so you just have to make sure that you are shopping with me, and that's the important part. And then, of course, you are going to earn Stampin' Rewards when you shop too. You get 10% back to spend on your next order, which is lots of fun. All right, I had to highlight some of the paper for this card, and I thought this is a good way to do just the stamping of the sentiment, but you still get the turtle image. So for this one, I have a shaded spruce card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and we'll fold that in half. And then I've done Granny Apple Green for this piece. It's 5.25 by 4, and I used that turtle embossing folder. Isn't that lots of fun? Now, I like to use Stampin' Seal, but sometimes on these embossed pieces, it likes to rip the paper. So I'm stubborn, and I don't like to use the glue. But be careful if you are using Stampin' Seal on your embossed pieces. All right, we are going to adhere that there. And then I have a piece of the Designer Series paper that is 2 by 5.25. So this is that striped piece. And we are just going to add that to our card. Now you can get creative with this one. You could put it in the middle. You could put it all the way at the bottom. Put it at the top if you want. You could even turn your card and make it go the other way. And that would be super cute too. Maybe we should do that. We'll see. Okay. Now where did my white piece go? I thought I stuck it in my envelope, but I don't see it now. All right. I'm going to cut this out, and then I will see if it turns up around here or if I need to run to the other room and get it. So if you get this card kit, I'm going to give you one of the turtles from this sheet, but they may not all be the same because there's a whole bunch of different ones. So this one I used the little guy with the birthday gift and the birthday hat. This one I thought would be cute with the cake and the chef's hat. And I think there are a few other turtles on that sheet as well. So you will have to fussy cut, but they're not too difficult and they are super cute. I think I must have die cut that white rectangle and not stuck it in the envelope. It's probably sitting on the counter in the other room. If you are watching, take a vote in the comments and let me know if I should make this card landscape orientation like the sample, or if I should switch it up and do the portrait orientation for this one. Because that will determine how we stamp our sentiment on there. Okay. See, not too tricky to fussy cut. Okay, I am going to run and see if I have that rectangle. So hang tight. I will leave my catalog here. It should just take a second, and you can check out some of these cute projects. All right, did you have a favorite project on this page? There are some cute ones. I think there's even some on here. Yes. This gives you a good example of using that one sheet that you can cut apart. And then they fussy cut a bunch of the different turtles from the other pages too. The designer series paper is really awesome. All right, my rectangle was right on the counter where I left it. So this I cut out of basic white with our textured notes dies. And we don't have any votes, so I'm just going to play around with it, and let's see. We could put him here, and we could stamp. Yeah, I think that'll fit. All right, I'm going to do it that way this time, and we will switch it up, and then you can see both versions and see which one you like better. So we are going to stamp with Shaded Spruce ink. And I am just going to stamp the sentiment up here at the top, like that. And then we're going to add this to our card with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Now your card kit is not going to include ribbon or embellishments, so you can use whatever ribbon or embellishments you have on hand, or you can add the ones that I'm using to your order. So I am going to try and keep it to just one ribbon and one embellishment on our cards today. So on our first card, we use these in color flat pearls. These are the 2025 to 2027 in color flat pearls. We're going to use those on this card too. I didn't use any ribbon on the first card, but on this card, we're going to use, this is my favorite new ribbon. It is not the one that goes with this suite, but I think it will go with all of the other products I want to use today. So this is our gold striped, I forget what it's called. It says gold striped. That is not helpful. Gold striped mesh ribbon. Okay. It is really, really pretty. It reminds me of our iridescent striped trim, except that it's gold and it's just a little bit more narrow. So if you want to use the same ribbon and embellishments that I'm using today, that is what we are using. All right, I am going to add our turtle with some dimensionals also. We'll put him right in the center there. I kind of think I'm liking how this version is turning out even better. You will have to let me know what you think. All right, I'm going to tie a bow with my ribbon. I should probably add another roll of this ribbon to my next order because I've been using it a lot already, and I think I'm going to use it on my Christmas card club cards, and I'll probably run out. Okay, now I just got to decide where the bow should go on this one. Up at the top, down at the bottom. I'm thinking down here because I don't want to cover up the words. And then in the designer series paper, there is a little bit of the Darling Duckling. You can see it on this sheet just a little bit in the candles. In this sheet, maybe a little bit more in his glasses and on the birthday gift. But it is a color in the paper, so we are going to put some of the Darling Duckling dots on here. And I love the sentiments because the sentiments that are puns are just cute. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe there. Hope your birthday is totally awesome. Okay. I think I like the second version better, but you let me know. You will get the pieces and you can decide how you want your card to look if you get the card kit this week. So that is our second project. I will be back at 12 noon Arizona time, which is Pacific if you're not in this time zone. And you can watch for other posts throughout the day as well. Thank you for joining me. And remember, if you are watching on YouTube, to look for the other projects that will be there. 4 projects today. Thanks for watching. Bye.